Hello, everybody. We are back for another year of scrapbooking through the rainbow. For 2023, we've chosen what we call the in-between colors, and we've also thrown a couple of different patterns and things like ledger papers and wood grains into the mix. So it's going to be super fun. We definitely have a lovely list of topics for 2023. For January, our topic is multicolored papers, and I have two here. So both of these papers are from Ashley Horton. She designed them. Ashley is the owner of the cut shop, and she has started these lovely printable kits that are called Document 365 kits. They have pattern papers and ephemera and pocket cards, and I love them. She has two out so far. I've bought and printed them both, and they're fabulous. I added them to my How to Kill a Kit with Style for January, specifically so that I could use them in both my memory planner and to do my traveler's notebook spreads for the month of January. And I have been loving the colors and playing with them, so we're going to have some fun with them today. I've chosen two patterns, and they will be my multicolored patterns for the Through the Rainbow Challenge. I have some stamps as well. I'm going to take this polka dot stamp set, and I'm going to start by stamping my title. I'm going to stamp my title using this Hank alphabet from the Paper Person, Catherine Pooler ink in the color Spiced, and I'm going to pull my Misty out and use the door of my Misty so that I get really good title placement, and also because I am going to stamp my title twice. So each letter I'm going to stamp it twice to get a really nice, deep, dark, crisp color. This Spiced color from Catherine Pooler, it's gorgeous. It's like this amazing caramel color, but I was a little bit concerned that it would like soak right into the paper and not give me like a really nice contrast and a really deep dark title. So that's why I'm going to stamp it twice. Speaking of caramel colored things, I am documenting ice cream in January. So here in Pennsylvania, we had this like really like deep freeze the end of December, but then in January we had like a January thaw where we had these temperatures like mid-high 50s, even some days close to 60. One of those days on our way home, I insisted that it was time to stop for ice cream. I love ice cream. Ice cream is probably my favorite dessert, my favorite sweet thing. I'm not a big chocolate eater. I'm really picky about things like cookies and stuff has to be certain kinds or certain types. But when it comes to ice cream, I can eat ice cream all day long. So we have a lovely ice cream shop here that does some custards. They're so good, frozen custard. And this day when we happened to go through the drive-thru to get ice cream, they had salted caramel, which is my absolute favorite. It was so good. And so I went ahead and snapped a photo of my huge ice cream cone, which ended up being my dinner. And I'm going to document it for you today. Once I have my title all stamped out, I'm going to dip into my stamp stash because I want to grab an ice cream stamp. So most of this layout is not going to be themed. It's very unthemed actually, but I do want a ice cream cone or two on my spread, but I just want them to be very what's the word? Like not in your face. Like I want it to be subtle. The word I'm looking for is subtle. So I have this ice cream stamp set from Stampin' Up! It's called Sweet Ice Cream. And I'm just going to go ahead and use those stamps to stamp 3 little ice cream cones that are kind of floating up from the bottom of the page up. I love digital papers. You guys know this. I am such a huge hybrid scrapbooker. And I love how this Epson matte presentation paper takes ink. So I love to print on this paper. It's called Epson Ultra Premium Matte Presentation Paper. Someone's going to ask me in the comments, what kind of paper do you use? That's the paper I use. It's 8.5 by 11. I use something completely different for 12 by 12 pages, but for 8.5 by 11 or smaller sized pages, I use that Epson paper. And yep, I use the Epson paper with my Canon printer, and it works fabulously. But one of the coolest things, I mean, this paper's made to take ink, right? And it takes ink like a champ. So awesome. So I went ahead, I'm going to move this paper around, and yeah, it's really sticking to my little sticky mat from my Sweet Petunia. Maybe that's because of the paper, probably. I'm just going to keep stamping my ice cream cones. I stamp 3 total. I love this sweet ice cream stamp set. This is like the most perfect ice cream stamp set. I don't know if it's available or not, but it's a really good one if you have a Stampin' Up! Consultant and need a really nice ice cream stamp. So once I had all my stamping done, not you, me, once I had all my stamping done, I'm going to go ahead and put my photo in there. I've already matted my photo with some vellum just to make it pretty and add a little extra to it. Look at that ice cream. Now I want ice cream. Seriously, now I want ice cream. For my stripy paper on the right side, I am just going to put together a little cluster. I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm just going to put together a little cluster of die cuts there. So I have two labels to do some journaling. And then I have 2 ephemera pieces from that Document 365 collection from Ashley. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of cluster them all together, inking everything up with some Distress Oxide ink in Vintage Photo. That's what everything was done with. And then I'm just going to make like a loose grid type of a layout. And in case you haven't noticed, yep, my book is upside down at this point. But don't worry, don't fret too much. I'm gonna figure it out in a second. But not before I put down one of the entire pages. And then I have to pull it up and move them around. I cannot be the only person that has done this, right? I can't. It's not just me, right? You've done it. You know you have. Yeah, this is something I do at least, once every couple months, just to remind myself that I really need to make sure I am working with the book facing the correct way. Fortunately, I didn't do any damage. So I just have to pull this up, put it on the other side, flip my pages around, leave. And now we're all good and I can do my journaling. If you have not hopped along and checked out all of the Rainbow Hop Girls videos, be sure to do so. We have a couple new YouTubers joining us, including the amazing Shannon from She's Crafty. So be sure to check out all of those amazing videos. You will find links to all of the videos down below, as well as links to my Misty and links to Ashley's printable collection that I used. Some of those are affiliate links. Some of them are just links because I love the product. And that's where we're going to call this one all done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this quick and simple and subtle ode to January ice cream. And I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye.